この魔女の証であるブローチをつけ、灰色の髪をなびかせて、その美しさと才能の輝きに太陽さえも思わず目を細めてしまうほどの美女は誰でしょうか。
Hello friends and welcome to another episode of Anime Theorizing, the show where we answer questions you don't care about so you don't have to. Now I know it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
I promise you it was for good reason. Also, I would like to address the elephant in the room, the new face of the channel. I finally made a character for my YouTube channel. That's right, a new year, a new Phoebe. Anyways, with these updates out of the way, let's get started with this episode of Anime Theorizing. Today we will be answering a huge mystery from one of the latest animes to air, Majo no Tabitabi. Today, we will be discussing a character which was mentioned in basically every episode of the series, but is also the one we know the least about. That character is Victoria, who was known in the series for writing the adventures of Nikeh, the very series that began Elaina's journey of being a wandering witch. In today's episode, we will be discussing what happened to Victoria or potentially who she might be. To figure out who a character is, I must first analyze what we know about her and what her relations are to the characters in the show. As of the first episode, we begin by learning that Victoria writes the adventures of Nikeh and Elaina was a fan of the series, so Elaina's relationship to Victoria is that of a fan. As for Victoria's relation to other characters, as of episode 10 of the series, we learned that Victoria was a mentor to Flan and Sheila, who are now mentors to Elaina and Sai respectively. So as of episode 10, it became obvious that Victoria had a huge impact on the main cast of the anime, but was she not there with the rest of the characters? This tickled my curiosity as I see no reason why Victoria would lose contact with her apprentices over just a couple of years. I wasn't until episode 11 till something clicked. It was the moment when Fran asked Elaina, "You've realized, right? Who my teacher was?" After Fran asked that, Elaina seemed to act like she didn't know, but in reality she knew all along from the Adventures of Nikeh book. Once I realized Elaina didn't want to know who Nikeh really was, I realized who it could possibly be. Before coming to a conclusion, I checked if Victoria had a matching voice actor to one character who previously appeared within the anime, and to my surprise, their voice actors were exactly the same. The character who is Victoria and the writer of the Adventures of Nikeh is Elaina's mother, voiced by Shizuku too. Upon realizing this, a couple of things became obvious, first of which was why Elaina's mom had all those copies of the Adventures of Nikeh along with clothes that looked just like Victoria's. Second, this explains why Elaina looks like Victoria and why people mistake Elaina for her, as Elaina is her daughter. Third, this explains why Fran would drop everything to train Elaina as a witch. Fran was just doing a favor for her past teacher. Fourth, this explains why whenever Elaina meets Fran, she asks Elaina to visit home. Fran was probably wanting Elaina to get the big reveal from Victoria herself. The fifth and final reason is that in episode 1, Elaina's mother gave her a diary to record her travels. This was most likely to continue the family business of writing stories about a witch's journey across the land. And thus, in the end, Elaina's hero was around her the whole time.
そう、私です。
That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, I'm sure you would enjoy previous episodes of Anime Theorizing. For example, when I discovered the identity of a forgotten character in Nogizaka Haruka no Himitsu. That's it for now, and as always, I love you all and until next time, bye.